Hi, everyone. This is Joyce Chet, and I just wanted to do a quick live. And before I go outside, I'm headed outside to get some chores done. I just got back from doing a lifestyle program at one of our lifestyle centers. Um, and it was an amazing experience. We did a 10-day detox program. And I just wanted to share with you some of the stories. Um, on the thumbnail, you'll see a picture of a lady. Her name is Marley. And 4 months ago, she had a blood clot in her leg that caused her leg to get very, very swollen and painful and red. And that clot continued to cause issues for her circulation. So she's on a medication to help with thinning her blood. But she still had a lot of pain in that leg. And because the leg was so swollen, she developed an ulcer in the leg. And so she'd had some dressing on it, had significant pain. If she were to assess the pain from a scale of 1 to 10, it was like an 8. And I remember that when we were considering what to do for her, um, as you know, we want to do everything as naturally as possible. And Mercy recommended that we do onion. So we used onion to dress her leg. Just put a little tiny piece of onion right into the center of that ulcer. And at times we would use some charcoal poultices around the leg and that kind of thing. But usually it was just onion. And it was just amazing. As soon as we put that onion and dressed the leg, um, she said that her pain immediately dropped to 0. And she was doing much better throughout the week. So I just thought that stories like this and some of the other stories that we had people who had significantly elevated blood pressures, whose blood pressures normalized. Um, we had people who had significant pain from cancer and from accidents, and their pain levels. I remember we got there and started the program on Sunday afternoon, and it was on Friday, Saturday, that some of these people were saying that their pain levels were pretty much at 0. And that's pretty remarkable considering how much pain these people had been struggling with. If you know my story, you know that I have a history of chronic pain. And one of the reasons for why I am doing what I do with food and that type of thing is because I um, I've experienced pain relief doing this. And so that's why I am so excited about sharing that with other people. So if you are interested in helping yourself with pain relief and learning about natural remedies, I think that this would be very helpful for you. Going through this experience helped me to understand how practical it is to learn about natural means. Can you imagine having so much pain for all of these months and months and then experiencing just in a matter of a number of days? For Marley, it was just a matter of one day that her pain scale went from being 8 out of 10 to being basically 0. How much more of your life are you going to get back when you are able to function without pain and without needing medication? We have been hearing, there's a lot of issues with shortages. Over there, we were in South Dakota, and they were having a hard time sourcing lettuce. Couldn't get lettuce. And we couldn't get a lot of organic produce and this type of thing. We've been hearing that some people are having difficulty with certain medications. I know that in my OR, we are having some issues with certain meds. We're having to search around for, even commonly used drugs that we use just to do surgery. And so, as we consider how serious these shortages are getting, I think that it is a very practical thing to try to think, what are you going to do when you no longer have access to medications? How are you going to live? And I think that is one reason that God gave to his people to learn to live, to avoid getting sick. And he's given us a lot of these health principles, and also what to do when you do get sick, how to treat things with natural methods. And so for the last week, one of the major reasons that people had improvement in their pain scale was simply the food that they ate. That's the major thing about what we try to do. We try to teach people that you have to calm down inflammation in the body if you want to get better. So number one, we decrease inflammation by decreasing the amount of energy that it takes for your body to digest food, by decreasing the inflammatory mediators that are going to be caused by food. And we also increase nutrient availability by soaking and sprouting. This can increase nutrient availability by about 30% or so. Copper, iron, zinc, these types of things. And we're healing the gut lining as we do that. And just by doing that, one of the gentlemen that had significant improvement in pain, he had a lot of back problems. His surgeon actually told him that he had the worst back that he'd seen. He's a gentleman in his 80s. And he was able to control it pretty well with just taking ibuprofen in the morning. And so it wasn't that he was on a narcotic. He was a pretty strong, hardworking gentleman. And the last day that I was there, I asked him how he was doing with pain. And he was like, well, I hardly have any pain today. And as it turns out, he had hardly had any pain for the last 2 days, and he wasn't taking his ibuprofen. So it was an amazing thing to see, with this gentleman, with a man who I told you about. There was a gentleman there who had multiple myeloma. He had metastases to the bones, and then he had just suffered a car accident. And so he had really suffered some injury to his right leg, and he was having a lot of pain getting around. He was on a walker. And it was Friday and Saturday that I was talking with him, and I found out he woke up and he said, I'm not having any pain today. So it's an amazing thing just by changing the diet and getting more nutrients in, decreasing these inflammatory mediators that are caused by when we eat, what that can do for a level of pain. The other thing, as I told you about, not only just with the food, but also like with what we did with Marley, to know how to use things like onions to help with ulcers and non-healing wounds and these types of things. It was just an amazing thing. I didn't have that much experience dealing with wounds. And so, to go through it with Marley and see just how something as simple as dressing her legs with onions, how much of an impact that can make on a very serious leg condition. It was really, really eye-opening for me as well. Now, the reason that I'm sharing this with you is because in just a few days, on Sunday, November the 20th, we're going to start having our Next MEd Missionary class. And during Med Missionary, when we start this nutritional course, we teach you the basics of how to do this, how to implement this kind of lifestyle for yourself. For those of you who aren't able to get away for a 10-day detox program, I think that this is very helpful because we're there with you live. We're there with you live every Sunday morning from 6:30 to 8:30 in the morning, Pacific Standard Time, and you're able to watch it at your leisure if you're not able to catch it on Sunday morning. Um, what we're teaching during that course are the principles of how we teach people. We teach people how to learn to eat, how to prepare their food. And I know some people think that that's not, it's not as exciting as maybe uh, taking supplements and that type of thing. But I think, you know, it's the basics of what we need to do. Because if you don't know how to cook to take care of yourself, if you don't know how to prepare your food, what are you going to do when you can't get those supplements, when you can't buy, or and those supplements are not available to you anymore? So we're really interested in helping people start to think differently about the impact that just food can make on your health. And we also teach in the course, we teach natural remedies that are specific for not only acute, get the flu and this type of thing. Um, you know, the last 2 years, as we were going through the pandemic, as we were teaching the course, we got a lot of testimonies from people who had really serious conditions. Like, I remember there was a gentleman who shared with us that he had kidney failure and was on dialysis. And when he got sick, he was really afraid of what to do. But because of everything that he had learned, he decided he was going to do it with natural means. And he was just praising the Lord for how he was able to get through this with natural means and what he had learned. And I really believe that this knowledge saved a lot of people's lives and saved a lot of people from having to, stay in the hospital unnecessarily and that type of thing. And also to learn how to take care of their families. Um, you'll If you take the course, you'll get some not only the Sunday morning lectures. We have 6 Sunday mornings that we're going to spend with you, 2 hours in length, live. But we also have a lot of lectures on the science behind what we do. And we have demonstrations, video demonstrations on how to prepare food this way and how to do some of these natural remedies. We have some audio recordings of the history behind the message of health in the Seventh-day Adventist Church. And we also have one lecture on the importance of oral health. Some people say that that is one of the most impactful things for them. And also, I don't want to disregard, we have Pastor Dale Carpenter, who is there with us every Sunday morning, and he provides devotionals where he brings together the gospel and the medical missionary work together. When I was there at this lifestyle center this last week, there were some who we don't always have Christians who are meeting with us. And there's some people who might think, well, do you have to soften up your message so that, you just share the health part and then, you can share the spiritual part at other places? I always try to bring these two together because I always want people to know that the reason that this whole program works is because what we are teaching, we're able to teach because we're able to navigate through the confusion that's out there in science and literature because we have a standard. We have the Bible, and we have the writings of Mrs. Ellen White, which have been so helpful at helping us to understand how to navigate through all the confusion that's out there. And I think that it's the reason why what we have been teaching has been so helpful for a lot of people. So I hope that you will check it out. If you go to medmissionary.com, that is our website, and you can register there. For those of you who've already taken the course, you can become a member where you can have access to the course material. You can be there again on Sundays and review for yourself. At the 10-day detox program, we actually had a number of people who'd already taken the course and who were there again to just kind of motivate themselves. Some people have a difficult time when they hear it the first time. They think this is good information, but maybe they don't have the support. Maybe they don't have the motivation, the courage to get started. And to just, the more times you hear it, the more times you see things, you might be more motivated to really get started yourself. So if you have any questions, you can email us at info@medmissionary.com, info@medmissionary.com. But we will be getting started on Sunday, 6:30 in the morning for the English speakers, 6 o'clock in the morning for Spanish speakers. And if you are Romanian or know some Romanian friends who'd be interested, let them know. We're going to start a Romanian speaking class this Sunday as well. And all of it you can access at medmissionary.com. Okay, well, I hope that's helpful for you, and God bless you in your health journey. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.